I ask you something? Certainly. Red card-like object. Kurosawa-san, I heard that 2 days ago you took out something from the top drawer of your desk. Do you remember what it was? I don't think she specified it was from the top drawer. Thing is, 2 days ago, I didn't come back here after the client visit. Huh? So it's impossible for me to have taken something away. But if so, why would Kiyomoto-san... What was your impression of her? Do you think she was telling the truth? This is the strange incident that I mentioned. Is Kurosawa-san suspecting Kiyomoto-san? She said you disappeared suddenly. Kiyomoto-san mentioned that you suddenly disappeared. Disappeared? What do you mean? She said you disappeared after taking the objects from the desk. As she's bringing this up voluntarily, I don't think she was merely looking away. I see. To be honest, I don't think her account is trustworthy. So is this gonna be a case of doppelganger? Could you please double check with my secretary just to make sure? Okay. I'll check with Kiyomoto-san one more time. A lot of back and forth. Do you want to call the police? He said he didn't. If something was stolen, the police should give you their attention. Will you be contacting the police? The thing that was stolen the other day. It's actually something top secret. Huh? Top secret? It's an important matter that affects our very reputation. Can you at least say if it's like files? I need to ask you to be discreet from here on with your investigation. I see. The red device that was stolen. So it's a device, not a card. I guess a remote then? I don't know, it's weird. Just tell me what it is. Kiyomoto-san, could you spare a moment? Yes, what do you need? About this strange happening. Question. 2 days ago, you were in this room with Kurosawa-san, correct? Well, yes, for maybe just an hour or so. Is there anything about his clothes, hair, or even face that struck you as unusual? No, it was the CEO, I know. And so he took a red card-like object from the drawer and left with it? Yes, that's right. Is there something wrong? Dang! Secretary's got prosopagnosia. Kurosawa-san says he hasn't taken away that red object. Was that the important item that our CEO mentioned? Seems that way. And still, he did take it out of his desk while I was watching. Don't want to mention that he wasn't here. I don't think there's any more questions here. Alright. Time to talk about people. I need notes on the people I met. Kiyomoto-san is the CEO's secretary. Kurosawa-san had trouble remembering her name. When was it that she joined the company? That was... recently. Okay. I think he said a specific time, but it was, recently. Yes, recently. That must be why he couldn't remember her name. Maybe there's a lot of people coming and going here? Just a guess, though. Look at that long line. Why is he, like, all the way over there? Young tech millionaire. Any notes on the people I met? Kurosawa-san is the CEO of a tech company. He says something was stolen. What was it? Security card, notebook full of teenage vices. I'm sorry, can we elaborate? Yes, it was a notebook chock full of original manga about a girl waking up in a fantasy world and being protected by this handsome warrior. Is that teenage vices? No, wait, that was actually mine. Shredded and burned long ago. Why did you burn it? Let me rethink this. Red card-like object. That's it! The stolen item was a red card-like object of some kind. But isn't he going to tell us what it was? He hasn't called the police either, which is rather suspicious. It is strange. Like, this has to be a big case if, like, they're gonna be in the corner like this. Or at least, like, many different locations. Why are the stories different? Because it wasn't him? I need to think things over for a bit. Red device was stolen. Strange happening was... What did the secretary see? I talked to Kiyomoto-san, the secretary, as Kurosawa-san asked me to. For her, 2 days ago was just a regular day. Yeah, actually, something was missing even though Kurosawa-san hadn't come back to his office. Strange circumstances indeed. Did she misjudge what she saw? Did the CEO simply forget what he did? If something is missing, there must have been an intruder in some way. I wonder why their stories are so different. Maybe the intruder was disguised so that Kiyomoto-san, the CEO's office. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe the intruder was disguised so that they would look like... Okay, simple. Never mind. Kurosawa-san. Sorry, I kind of like... I was in the moment and then realized my sentence was not correct, and it took me a second. Maybe the intruder was disguised so that they would look like Kurosawa-san? Kimoto-san's story about the missing item was accurate. So whomever it was that seemed to be Kurosawa-san must have actually been here. But if so, did they look so alike that you could mistake them? I need to learn more about the intruder. How to tell if it's a CEO. May I ask you something? Never mind. May I ask Jasmine something? Kimoto-san, can you spare a moment? Yes, what do you need? Never mind. Jasmine? How's it looking? Progress so far. What's up? Something on your mind? As far as they've told me, nothing stands out as unusual. Oh, but a red card-like object is gone, so then again, it feels like there isn't anything happening that's anomaly related. Oh yeah? In that case, we should look for clues that someone was here in this office 2 days ago. I agree. A red card-like object. Jasmine knows something. So I'm not talking to anyone. Would I look at his desk again? Didn't look like I had any, about the security camera. Kurosawa-san mentioned he's having the security camera footage analyzed. Maybe they've heard back? I should check with the secretary, Kiyomoto-san. Really, that's what I had to do? Wait for this moment? I'm guessing that's it then. Red card-like object. Never mind, look at that. What might the red card-like object be? It stands out, so would be obvious to anyone searching these drawers. It's definitely not here. Maybe Kurosawa-san took it away himself? Alright, security camera time. Kimoto-san, could you spare a moment? Yes, what do you need? About the security camera. What a security camera you have there. Is the footage available for checking? Look, it's him! Nah, he looks suspicious. Our General Affairs team who handles the cameras sent us images just a while ago. Here they are. What was it? General Affairs? They're behind it. Thank you very much. Who does this look like to you? It's our CEO for sure. Looks like it. I'll check with Kurosawa-san himself. The way Azami said that made it like sound like it didn't look like him at all. Like, what's wrong with you? This is clearly a lizard man. May I ask you something? Certainly. Security cam image. Ask Kiyomoto-san for this image from your security camera there. This is you, isn't it, Kurosawa-san? Wow, he does look like me. I wouldn't blame anyone for mistaking him for myself. Could it be that you're simply forgetting about coming back here 2 days ago? I would imagine that they have security logs. That isn't possible. My client counterpart can attest to that. And there is something actually missing from this room. But this is clearly you yourself? I'm as surprised as you are. Good going. Jasmine, I think I've picked up what I can here. So how's that CEO then? Something does feel off. Don't tell us about what was stolen. And he showed interest in my clairvoyance. What's he up to? Definitely seems like he's hiding something. Yeah. Oh! It's from the director! How is it going? It seems you're done with your initial investigation. Yes, but it's kind of complicated. A lot of uncertainties, aren't there? Huh? Oh, yes, exactly. Kurosawa-san himself is one thing, and the clairvoyant shadows in the office felt different somehow. I see. Also, I saw an Illumina card. Kurosawa-san had one. We can worry about that later. Looking forward to your full report. Let us begin then. It's gonna be just doppelganger, right? That's gonna be what the anomaly is. Locating a stolen item and recovering it, if possible. The request for this case is rather unusual, considering our usual fare. And yet it seems this case was made for us. First I thought it was just a burglary. But with the Illumina card showing up, something strange must be going on. We cannot leave this case unexplained. Let us begin the identification. Now let us start by laying out what has been happening. Mr. Kurosawa experienced something strange. He asked you to speak with Miss Kiyomoto, his secretary, to make sure of what was going on. That's right, so we asked Kiyomoto-san about what happened 2 days ago. So, Mrs. Azami. Yes? What were the strange circumstances that Miss Kiyomoto described? Kurosawa-san appeared but wasn't supposed to. I guess that, but she doesn't know he wasn't supposed to, he just showed up. Kurosawa-san appeared, though he wasn't supposed to be there. Kiyomoto-san was in the same room for a while, but didn't notice anything unusual. Great! So the intruder entered the CEO's office as if they were the CEO himself, behaving very naturally. The intruder's presence was natural enough that anyone might suspect the CEO of misremembering his own actions. So, I'm gonna say... We'll move on first, and then I'll say something. Moving on, the Mr. Kurosawa imposter came to the CEO's office as if they were the CEO himself. The secretary, Miss Kiyomoto, was the only one who saw him. Okay, let me put this out there now. Kiyomoto is in with the, whoever runs security. Security spliced, like, a picture, or not a picture, but a video from a previous day of him showing up to make it seem like he was there, and then she wasn't suspicious because it was just him or something, I don't know. Her account of that day includes an important characteristic of this intruding entity. So, Mrs. Azami, what kind of interaction was there between Miss Kiyomoto and Mr. Kurosawa's imposter? Between the time the imposter arrived at the CEO's office and until he left. Simple non-verbal greetings, a greeting which turned out awkward, spoke as they usually do. I think it was non-verbal, right? He kind of like nodded. I believe she mentioned the CEO gave her a light nod, but they didn't speak. That's what they usually do, so she didn't find it strange. Excellent! Precisely. Miss Kiyomoto did not converse with Mr. Kurosawa's imposter. If they'd had any form of conversation, this would have turned out differently. I don't know, because I feel like having someone look exactly like the CEO is just a little too far-fetched. My final question. Was Miss Kiyomoto unaware that Kurosawa-san had appeared? No! She was aware and even greeted him. Indeed, furthermore, they were in the same room for an hour or so. But Miss Kiyomoto never doubted the imposter. And yet, a client can prove that Kurosawa-san wasn't actually there. So, Mrs. Azami. Yes? What kind of entity is this imposter, then, who showed up at the CEO's office? The CEO's living spirit. An entity almost identical to Kurosawa-san. A fox morphed into Kurosawa. It could be a fox. An entity that just... yeah. A tangible entity with an appearance practically identical to Kurosawa-san. Maybe a clone or some kind of copy? Brilliant! Security camera footage confirms that the imposter's appearance is almost identical. And yet Mr. Kurosawa himself can prove that he was somewhere else at the time. At least we're taking his word for it. It's as if there was another Mr. Kurosawa in existence. They did not converse, and yet... Security camera footage shows the person existing in 2 places at once. There's one urban myth that matches these parameters. Honestly, there probably are multiple. Because there's a lot of, like, doppelganger effects with, like, creatures and things. It's straight up just doppelganger. I felt like that was going to be it. Like, very vague, but more or less what's happening. The doppelganger? A duplicate of yourself that exists in the same world with no indication of... Sorry. With no indication of since when or why they exist. That's a weird sentence, right? I think the sense part is what really makes that messy. With no identification of when or why they exist would make sense. Only the person themselves would be able to identify the imposter. Yo, Among Us? The terrifying aspect of this anomaly is that if you ever meet your doppelganger, you will die. Will die? We should warn Kurosawa-san to be very careful until he recovers what was taken. I didn't know the doppelganger was such a scary urban myth. That reminds me, the same Mr. Kurosawa sent us an additional request. I will handle it personally. You may not be able to reach me for a while. But no need to worry. I leave the on-site investigation in your capable hands. How can you be sure it's the same one and not the doppelganger? But director... What happened? The director won't be in contact for a while. Will we be okay on our own? He's usually not, though, right? He's usually not in contact until the end. Is it that much to worry about? Without the phone calls, it'll still be the usual, yeah. Except, you know, the, when we're in our, like, mind palace and he's not contacting us. You're right, maybe we'll be okay? Although Azami is sure that that's just a, that is just her imagination, but it's probably him helping. Phew, home at last. Housekeeper, sir, she did it. What is it? Oh, I thought you had come home just a few minutes ago. No, I just got home, obviously. Did we warn him about the doppelganger thing? Because you'd think he would immediately be like, aw, man. Something sus is happening. What? I don't know if that would be my reaction. This is awkward. Today's menu, we go check Kurosawa's place. And it seems he ran into his doppelganger. When he called, he was so worked up. So, like, where did it go, though? I saw it. It was in my room. It ran away, and so on. I wonder if he's okay. Well, he did call us himself, and seems safe for now. Unless if that's the doppelganger! Though we should wait on mentioning the supposed death if you meet your doppelganger thing. He was at least well enough to have called us. How about the boss man? Business done yet? I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet. Maybe your first solo dissolution is coming up. No way. I'm not good enough for that. Well, we'll figure it out. That'd be kind of fun to just have her parse it out herself. It's not like the director was necessary entirely. I'll look into the doppelganger rumors. Is there anything else that you'd like me to look up? My little investigator Azami is growing up so fast. Aw, you think so? Can you add Zimmers to your research list? There have been a lot of incidents related to them lately. But are there any connections between Kurosawa-san and Zimmers? Haven't you heard? The Zimmers hate Kurosawa with a passion. Not really a big deal if it's just people's opinions, but Kurosawa haters are getting bolder. Understood. I'll look for rumors on the doppelganger myth and Kurosawa haters. Yutak's dark secret. Someone young taking a company public in just 3 years. According to our sources, he abused his privilege to get there. The dark secret? Is it really impossible for a company to go public in 3 years? No, it's not impossible, just really, really rare. How he got where he is due to family, but he's out here lecturing us about hard work? What an ignorant guy. All these haters, do you think they're Zimmers? That's the thing with Zimmers, you really don't know. They seem like a group, but also go solo. I wish there was some way to tell. Basically anonymous. Anonymous, I can speak. Remember when anonymous was a thing? But if your family has a lot of money, can't you just use it however you want? I guess you'd think so if you have that kind of opportunity. People like that also tend to go for attention. Calling it hard work distorts the world's sense of values. Return this distorted world back to its original state, GR. I'm assuming GR is a Zimmer calling card, especially with that kind of like sentence of like, return this disoriented world back to its original state. Like, that's nonsense. Distorts values. Are they distorted? Are values ever even fixed to begin with? This GR again. What does it even mean? The Great Reset, right? Or whatever. It's not the. Was it called the Great Reset? I'm terrible at this. I like that. You think there's gonna be anything in the middle here? Looks identical. Strange entity who looks just like Kurosawa-san. He doesn't say a word and acts with some kind of purpose. Some say that those who see the doppelganger will die. What about the people around him? Was it called the Great Reset? I just want to make sure it's not like the Occult Reset. Although I don't know if it's in our Occult Great Reset. So yeah, GR Great Reset. Just not with the O. Being the CEO of huge companies in his age as usual. Talk about New Life Plus. Maybe he's an invader from outer space. Chew, how many times would I have to be reborn to get to live at the top of such a fancy building? If you actually tried, you might get there pretty quickly. Would you be able to quickly, Azami, if she tried? Do we know what she studied at like college? Because she is a student. Are you saying the Kurosawa we see might be a doppelganger? A little too high profile for antics like that, isn't he? Convenient that you mentioned doppelganger. The Kurosawa we're going to see now is the real one, right? Sure hope so. I was gonna say for a minute, I must have missed a pulse, but that last one is one. Okay. There are plenty of urban myths about meeting your doppelganger too. Are there really? Experiences like that probably hit closer to home than your average urban myth. This one stands out for me. Also for me, it's pulsing. Can you see the pulse, Jasmine? Ah, the glasses are reacting to meeting your doppelganger. Knew that would grab attention. Give it a search. Don't really have any other options. Results found. Speaking of meeting your doppelganger, my friend accused me of walking around with a girl hanging off my arm yesterday. Maybe my doppelganger got a girlfriend before I did? LOL. A doppelganger can get a girlfriend? Wow, they're better than me. Anything you can do, your doppelganger can do. Oh, I thought she was gonna say anything you can do, your doppelganger can do better. That's why I said it like that. Aren't there lots of celebrity doppelganger incidents? Haha, is that so? Yeah, it makes sense they'd blame it on a doppelganger. I bet they're just blaming it on a doppelganger when they get caught, lol. Isn't that you? Yeah, I guess that is. Oh, I like that picture. Satomi Kisaragi said that the doppelganger hallucination theory is when you're seeing a hallucination of yourself. While theoretically it could all be in your head, you could be seeing your older self or a living spirit. A hallucination of your future self? What kind of urban myth is that? Wait, they said Satomu Kisaragi. Right, he did write books on urban myths. Fans would have their eyes on this topic. Oh, a reaction to doppelganger hallucination theory. We can probably get more info on doppelgangers from here. Give it a search. So at first I was thinking like maybe this is like the T is being used for something else. But other people saw the doppelganger, so it's not just him seeing it. I want to point out too, I didn't really put much emphasis on it when I was looking up that other like Vine that actually exists. I don't remember the name. But I want to reiterate, unless if liquor cake is different than what I'm thinking of, that shit has, like, no alcohol, like, properties to it. Like, I think most of the alcohol gets burnt off when it's baked. So that, like, super should not have an adverse effect with, like, another type of drug. Not in the same way that, like, you wouldn't do drugs and alcohol because it's bad. But, again, might not be the same vine. I'm gonna say it's probably just not a real thing because they didn't specify, but I'm really hung up on it. I've seen a friend's doppelganger before. We talked and they were totally alike. But when I talked to my friend later on, I heard they were overseas at that time, so we couldn't have met. Meeting someone in a place where they couldn't have met. That sure sounds like a doppelganger. If that's real. In Urban Myths, it's said that doppelgangers can't talk to other people, or they can only appear in places related to the original person. The director mentioned that trait. Doppelgangers can't talk to others. If it's someone who's antisocial or not talkative, it'd be hard to tell them apart. Dang. You wouldn't be able to tell me from my doppelganger apart. I saw my younger self at my family's house in the countryside. Is that also a kind of doppelganger? What? Is that a doppelganger too? It really was their younger self. Aren't there a bunch of stories about getting home to find your doppelganger already there? It's terrifying. That's really terrifying. Getting home to find yourself there? That's what just happened, dog. Guess that's a classic kind of doppelganger. A lot of historical figures have met their doppelganger before. President Lincoln, Ryunosuke Akutagawa, and so on. President Lincoln? With the beard? The one with that beard on his face, right? You know him from the beard? I really love that reaction. The beard one! The guy! He has a beard! That one! A lot of people met their doppelgangers, but aren't they all dead? You die if you do, right? Do you really die when you meet one? I heard you get cursed with bad luck. Getting cursed with bad luck, dying if you meet them twice. Which theory is most likely? I like the meet them twice one, that sounds fun. Because you're always like paranoid if you met them the first time. Not what I wanted to do. Nothing here. I know you're here somewhere. Nope, just a dud. Maybe go look somewhere else. Hallucinogen. Dude, the like Zimmers are gonna have like freaking scarecrow fear toxins with the T or something. According to the doppelganger hallucination theory, it's not meeting your doppelganger that causes death. You see a hallucination of yourself because you're close to death. So it's the opposite. You see your doppelganger when you're already about to die. So doppelganger is a Shinigami? Yo, just no. Can't really call those the same thing. Yeah, I don't think it would be considered the same. Like, not obviously not the Death Note thing, but Shinigami compared to like your hallucination of yourself. I hear even seeing someone else's doppelganger can cost your life. No way, you can die from seeing someone else's doppelganger? Take a breath, go on and find out more about this rumor. I mean, that seems lame, because like a doppelganger can just be walking around and be like, aha, everyone's seen me. That's the reaction to the words cost your life. So many intense words coming up. I thought it was the shock of seeing your doppelganger that killed you, lol, but dying just from seeing someone else's doppelganger? That too, the shock seems like that would make sense. Death by shock? I guess it would shock you to death. Would it really shock you to that extent? I don't know. Would you be like able to like think of it as your doppelganger immediately? I know you like see yourself in the mirror constantly, but would you like see it and be like, that's me, that's exactly me? I don't know, you don't see yourself too often for it to be that spooky, I feel like. Heard a doppelganger is a spirit or soul that escaped from their body, and if you see one, it means the host's body is without its soul and will eventually die, or something like that. Soul, doppelganger, host body, what? That's a tough one. You can't make fun of the concept since there were people with brain tumors who died after saying they saw their doppelganger. Yeah, but I kind of feel like that might have been related to the brain tumor. What? This sounds like a scientific cause? Compelling if true. Big if true. A brain tumor showing you hallucinations of yourself. The idea gives me shivers. Huh? Definitely a possibility. What was that reaction, Azami? There's also the possibility that the doppelgangers kill their original selves to replace them. But if in that case, from the outside, it just seems like the original person's personality changed. Killing the original to take their place? That's way too scary. Now we're into the horror movie stuff. Yo, has anyone here seen The Cat with Human Hands? I think that's what it's called, or maybe it's just The Cat with Hands. It's on YouTube, check it out, it's pretty cool. So isn't a straw man kind of like a doppelganger? I guess they're saying like Scarecrow specifically, not the debate fallacy. If the real person is in the way, they get rid of them and put a straw man in their place. A certain prime minister was just a straw man. Source, Master Kisaragi. So it's a straw man? A straw man prime minister? Really? Here comes the conspiracy theories. They say Kisaragi said it. Must be a fan. Our prophet, Tsutomu Kisaragi, is not just a visionary. He holds the power to see the future. Society is on the brink of revolution. Great reset. A Tsutomu Kisaragi fan using GR. Maybe it stands for Great Reset? Ooh, I see. So that's why it keeps showing up everywhere. It seems to be really popular lately. I mean, it could also be something else. It could be red herring, I don't know, but that's what I thought too. There's a reaction to Prophet Tsutomu Kisaragi. Tsutomu is just a researcher. Why are they calling him a prophet? Would you mind looking into those rumors? Understood. Seems like we're focusing more on the Zimmer stuff than our case, but I'm into it. According to the doppelganger time warp theory, meeting your doppelganger results in a time paradox that causes death. I mean, at that point, it would be time travel, right? The paradox of, like, you meeting yourself from the past. A time warp. And two of the same persons are in the same place on the same timeline, causing a paradox. Do you think reality is some sci-fi movie? I mean, right now we're researching doppelgangers. If it's not sci-fi, we're doing it as a paranormal thing. So it could be one or the other. In the world simulator hypothesis, a doppelganger is a bug in the system. If you run into one, then a bug occurs and you die. Get it? What is the world simulation hypothesis? Your guess is as good as mine. I think it's self-explanatory. The world is a simulation. How interesting that every doppelganger death theory has its own reasoning behind it. Each one seems realistic in its own way. Scary. They do seem strangely realistic in their own ways. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little hung up on it. Realistic in their own way, in like the sense that it's makes sense in the theory. Like, I don't know, the hollow earth theory can be realistic in its own way if you never mind. I don't even know what I'm saying. No one's seen that kind of death happen though. Where did that info even come from? Maybe the person who started the rumor about it costing your life is up to something insidious. The movie? Does that mean someone would benefit from spreading that kind of rumor? Could be. As long as people think they could. Me? Gungaga. Me? I'm with that one theory. We're the reptilians! Are using the concept of doppelgangers to hide themselves. What are reptilians? I think they're like aliens who try to pass as humans. You should know you're working for one, Jasmine. Reptilians, let me guess. We're around the same age? What does that mean? Huh? How old are they? Do certain urban myths fall into specific generations? I guess that's what that means. Different things are popular depending on when you grow up. Are reptilians, generational? Do millennials not know about reptilians? I guess Gen Z now, right? Not millennials. I don't know generations. Listen, there's only two generations. Boomers and millennials. The old and the young. And I think I'm a boomer at this point. I feel like I have heard this story about people getting replaced by weird apparitions. Pretty recent thing. Are there that many terrifying stories about such things? There's an endless pit of scary stories like that. Yo, we're gonna get another thing. I don't know what Cajun Answer is. As for myself, I know about Cajun Answer, the scary one that legit steals your body. I don't know what that face is supposed to be. Like freaking out, I guess. Myself? What kind of monstrous being is that? Azami, that's not a monster name. Really funny. I like that. I wonder how many people out there are actually imposters who replace the originals. Jasmine, you are the real Jasmine, right? Yes, I'm Jasmine. You are correct. Thanks, Jasmine. I just needed to be reassured. Results found. The GR, our prophet, Satomu Kisaragi, hoped for is almost here. Okay, I'm not crazy, right? They seem to be really excited here. Sounds like a real party for them. GR, 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 eep! What is it? Don't keep reading if the posts are creeping you out too much. As someone who's read Occult Great Reset, I thought Satomu Kisaragi was simply saying the occult otakus will have their chance to shine one day. Really? Have you read it, Jasmine? Well, yeah, I have. Probably had to do it for research. You should read it again. You can't just stand there and wait for change to happen. You have to take the first step toward change it yourself. That's how we can change society and then the world. GR! GR hype? I can't say much without reading it myself, but seeing how many different impressions of the book there are makes me nervous about reading it. Satomu Kisaragi may be abnormally persuasive. Idiots always toss words around like toys. I've been working hard for the GR too, but it's a shame that I'm treated the same as this fool. The GR is something you work for? And I thought all they did was read books and ran online. That could be more dangerous than it seems. This can be more dangerous than it seems. You seem too intensely invested in this. The book is just about updating your values. What else are you seeing in it? Updating your values? Oh, that's closest to how I read it too. Simply put, that's what it was about. No, don't simply put me. What do you mean, Jasmine? What do you mean, simply put? Updating your values. That's what it was about. Simply put, that doesn't help me. I mean, updating your values could mean anything, like broadening your horizon, changing your worldviews, etc. Exactly, updating your values. To do that, first you must destroy your current values. It's that destruction that Satomu Kisaragi sought to carry out. Was there a statement inside that asked you to come up with your own answers or something? I think it was just a bunch of Satomu Kisaragi's own thoughts. Maybe depending on the reader, it resonates differently. I thought his book was about his experience. Like he was bashed by people who had a prejudiced view of occult otakus based on only half-truths. Hold on, why is this talking about otakus? I feel like Fujiwara-san said something about that on the occult tour too. Oh, because along with teaching at uni, Satomu Kisaragi was an occult researcher. That's why people thought of him as an otaku. Half-truths? Then they were true, LOL? Now they're just trying to start a fight. The worse the info, the more attention it gains. It leads to reactions, which leads to a sense of superiority. And people have a terrible habit of just focusing on that. This is a short-sighted society that needs to be destroyed. GR. These people saying GR. It's like they're trying to accomplish something. For Satomu Kisaragi, right? Looks to me like they're speaking out in the name of Satomu Kisaragi, who couldn't accomplish his goal by himself. Do you think he's actually, like, alive? He didn't kill himself? I'd say probably not. Yeah, let's complete. Oh, I should have read the urban myths that we got. I think that's all we can get for now. Went down the Satomu Kisaragi rabbit hole at the end there. Looking into the Zimmers leads to his name showing up a lot, and GR. How is it looking into the doppelganger myth? You get the basic idea? Yes, I picked up a lot of weird info about them.